The Denali Star is the flagship train of the Alaska Railroad. It takes passengers from the hub of Alaska Railroad operations in Anchorage all the way north to Fairbanks, Alaska, the northern terminus of the railroad. This train runs seasonally from mid-May to mid-September, offering a unique and useful service to both local Alaskan residents and tourists alike. On May 12, 2022, we would board the northbound Denali Star for the journey of a lifetime. We would be whisked from the city lights of Anchorage through the backwoods of Alaska all the way north to the springtime snow of Fairbanks. Join us as we take a 12-hour journey on the Alaska Railroad's Denali Star. Our train will be led by a pair of smartly painted Alaska Railroad SD70 Max. Our passenger car consist included a baggage car, 2 Ultra Domes for Gold Lease service, a counter cafe car, a standard coach, and a dome coach. With boarding complete, our train highballs the Alaska Railroad Anchorage Depot. This depot was originally built in 1942 and was enlarged in 1948. In 1999, it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. It is built of concrete and steel and is well equipped for the Alaska harsh winters. As we depart Anchorage, we take a view of the train from the ground. Please note that the departure clip was filmed on a different day, and the consist of the train varies from that of the one we are riding. Departing Anchorage, we were also able to get a view of the Alaska Railroad's yard. Included in this is the intermodal facility that loads cars to be taken north to Fairbanks. At Eagle River, we once again view the train from both the riding perspective and the ground level perspective. The Alaska Railroad has two types of accommodation on the Denali Star. First, we look at the Adventure class. This car was built by DHI in South Korea in 1989. It features large windows and reclining seats. The other type of coach we had in our train was a dome coach built in 1958 for the Union Pacific. These cars feature a similar style reclining seat, but smaller windows. The highlight of this car, however, was the upper dome level, which we will look at next. The dome section of the dome coach offers 360-degree panoramic views of the scenery. During peak travel times, it is asked that you stay in the dome for only 20 to 30 minutes. However, on our trip, we were able to stay up for the duration. While these seats are unreserved, this is one of the best seats available to those who are opting for the Adventure class level of service. Separating the Adventure class from the Gold Leaf service, we had a Counter Cafe car. This car was rebuilt from a Chicago Northwestern Gallery car and featured a spacious seating area as well as large picture windows. The upper row of windows is a throwback to what would have been the Gallery car's second floor of seating. In this car, you could purchase drinks, sandwiches, and a variety of snacks. The most exclusive level of service on the Denali Star was the Gold Leaf service. Here, we are looking into one of the two Ultradomes on this train. These cars were built by Colorado Railcar between 2005 and 2008 and offer seating on the upper level and dining services on the lower level. The wraparound windows are a unique feature of these cars, as well as the open-air observation deck, which can be accessed towards the rear of the car on this day. The open-air section of this car allowed for truly breathtaking views, some of which will be seen later in this program. These accommodations are specific to the Denali Star, and while they are offered on some other Alaska Railroad trains, they are not offered on all services. As we continued rolling north through the beautiful Alaska scenery, we would get a rare glimpse of the Denali peaks from the train. We were told it is very rare to be able to see Denali from the train, especially this early in the season. At Talkeetna, we would get a brief fresh air stop. Here, we would take another look at the classy Alaska Railroad consist. Talkeetna is a popular stop for outdoor enthusiasts, as in this town you can access many of the great natural wonders of Alaska. You can also transfer to the Alaska Railroad Hurricane Turn, which is a flag stop service that runs between Talkeetna and Hurricane. As we depart Talkeetna, we can note some snow still on the ground. We will also pass by the previously mentioned Hurricane Turn train, which is waiting its turn to come out onto the main line and board passengers. As we continued north, the snow thickened, but the scenery did not disappoint. We would roll for miles and miles as the mountains and trees surrounded our train. In the middle of the journey, we would meet the southbound Denali Star. This is the first southbound train of the season, where we would swap crews, with one crew going back to Anchorage and the other to Fairbanks.
Welcome aboard for our new passengers we picked up here at Denali Park. Welcome back on board for everyone who got up for a minute to get some fresh mountain air, photo or two. So from here we will continue on north. We do not have any more scheduled stops until Fairbanks, of course. Watchtower or clock tower that we're going to go by here in just a moment in car B is sort of like Alaska's version of the lottery, although it started off as a bet between railroaders and community members before that giant bridge up in front of us on the left was completed. Before the Mayor's Memorial Bridge was completed, crews would have to build a temporary wooden bridge that would go over the frozen Talkeetna River. Every single spring, when the ice melted enough for the bridge, fall beneath the ice. So the first.
Rolling out our final miles into Fairbanks, we would pass through the Alaska Railroad's Fairbanks Yard. As we pull into the Fairbanks Depot, our 12-hour journey is complete. Having seen some of the best scenery available on a train, we cannot help but think that this is the trip of a lifetime. We would gather one final parting shot of our train at the northernmost passenger station on the Alaska Railroad. After this, we would get on a bus and head for the Fairbanks Airport for the 1-hour flight south. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our Alaska Railroad journey between Anchorage, Alaska and Fairbanks, Alaska. We highly recommend this trip for anyone who is considering going to Alaska and maybe or maybe not interested in trains. It is truly one of the best ways to see the beautiful scenery of the state, and it's a great way to take one more thing off the bucket list.